Assalamu alaikum, ya ahlul internet. Um, did you know that Muslims believe that dreams can come from one of three places? Now, the first is from Shaitan, the devil. He likes to send you the stupidest, weirdest, awfulest ideas, um, and he sends bad dreams to mess with people's minds, and it's not cool. It's just a thing that he does because he's a jerk. When you have a bad dream, you're supposed to say "A'udhu billah" and then three times turn to your left and be like, and I'm like, "You stupid," um, without the fake swearing, of course. Um, the second place that dreams can come from is from like bad burritos. Bad burrito dreams, the mishmash in your head, the jumble of remembering everything that happened throughout the day and what you were worried about and what concerns you and what just happens to be on your mind. So, the second place dreams come from is from your own self. The third place that dreams can come from, and again, these are the least common ones, are from Allah. And that doesn't make you a prophet, and it doesn't mean you're receiving revelation. It means that Allah can send people dreams with a meaning or a purpose. And, obviously the best kind of a dream would be one where, you get to see the Prophet Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi, sallam. That would be awesome. Hasn't happened to me. I'm not making a video about that. I wouldn't be making a video if that happened. I would be running around in circles going, ah, if that happened to me. But I did want to talk about a dream that I had last night. And, when you have a bad dream, you don't talk about bad ones. You don't. Someone once came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and started telling him about this crazy messed up dream that he had the night before. And the Prophet's response was, "Stop, you don't need to tell me how Shaitan was messing with your head last night. It's okay. You don't need to tell me this." I don't think that the dream that I had last night was Shaitan messing with my head. Maybe it's a burrito dream, but it's something that has been on my mind since I've woken up, and it's late Asr time right now. So it's almost Maghrib. What happened in my dream was I was standing in a stadium, like 100,000 people in front of me, and I'm on stage being recognized for something, or I'm speaking at an event. Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're so cool!" And then after my incredibly successful and flawless speaking appearance, I then went to the after party, and it's a VIP after party, having fun, yay! And I happen to walk past the window and I peek outside, and I can actually see a bunch of Rohingya men being rounded up forcefully. If you don't know who the Rohingya are Muslims in Burma. They make up around 5% of the population. They're a different ethnicity from other people in Burma. They're not Asian. They're of more like Bangladeshi extraction. There are old connections there, but they've been there a proper long time. Right now, the situation that they're in is that they have had their right to citizenship revoked. Their right to vote has been revoked. There's a one-child policy in place. They're not allowed to travel from one town to another without explicitly written permission, and a majority of them live in internal refugee camps. They're the people on the boats that are dying to live and drowning and being shuttled from one country to another. So yeah, the Rohingya, those people. So I look out the window and I see a whole bunch of Rohingya men in their dahmads being rounded up, and I turn away, and I go back to the party. And I'm just, hey, hi, what's up? Great time hanging out with all these people and celebrating my accomplishments. And I walk past the window again, and this time they're being forced onto the ground and beaten. And again, I turn away. Go back to the party, and come back again, and this time I don't look out the window on purpose, but I see movement, and I see an arm flying in an arc through the air and turning as it falls. And I peek outside and I see a pile of pieces of people. And then I wake up. I wouldn't say this was a good dream. I also wouldn't call it a bad burrito dream. I'm not going to pretend like I received revelation from Allah because that's crazy. But there are some really uncomfortable parallels in terms of my own life and the reality of what's happening. In case you weren't following the news, and or internet news has more information on it than mainstream news, but in the past 2 or 3 days, three Rohingya villages were surrounded by Buddhist extremists with swords and homemade weapons, and they were on standby for being massacred. Alhamdulillah, the army did intervene. They sent the extremists home. Without punishment, by the way. Previously, when the Rohingya have called for help, the government has assisted the extremists, or simply served to clean up, not to prosecute or protect. So this is something that's happening now. It's been happening for a while, and the situation with the Rohingya has been likened to, the plight of the Jewish population in World War II under the Nazis, or in systematic apartheid regime in South Africa. It's an organized, properly planned, meticulous government initiative to eliminate 5% of their population from the country. Now, I'm a bit of a hashtag-tivist. I get onto Twitter and I'll blast news like crazy and action points to be like, come on guys, we gotta do something. And then I'll close my computer and I'll have dinner and I kiss my kids goodnight. And it's lather, rinse, repeat in first world comfort. And pursuing my own goals as a professional and my own goals as a writer and my own pursuits as a comfortable, slightly overweight white woman in a position of privilege. And so I wanted to share that because there's a reminder in there for me and perhaps for us as well, collectively. The world may be, thousands of miles wide, but from a broader perspective, we can just look out of our window and see a massacre happening. Except the window is the computer screen. And we can peek in it and go, ooh, and close the window and go back to the party. And that's what I wanted to talk about. I know that the horror of watching a fake massacre in my dreams will fade because life happens. I know that I'll remember more interesting things. I'll get groceries. I might sew a scarf. I might get onto Photoshop and make something that makes me feel better. And I'll erase it from my mind. But these things still exist. And Allah will ask us